Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. It's my Sunday weekly analysis. It's 8:41 p.m., so I'm a bit late this afternoon or this evening to do this. But here we are, people. Here we are. So I usually like to start out with gold, just looking at gold. You guys know that what I do every week is I just go through different currency pairs and just give my personal take on where I think they are headed. Now, gold last week was quite interesting. The week closed bearish, as you can see. There was a bit of rejection on the weekly, but we were generally bearish on gold last week. At some point towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, NFP day, it kind of, news kind of made it shoot up a bit, and then it dropped again, and we ended up closing bearish. So right now, I'm still bearish on gold. I still think it has to get to 1773 level, 1753, and even lower to 1677. But that's really, really long term. On the near term, I'm actually anticipating to see gold, come to these levels of 1773.018. Now, it's very possible that the weekly may attempt to open bullish and retest this supply zone on the weekly, but we are long-term bearish. That's really my take. We are bearish. Okay. So yeah, so as we look on the daily, we can see that literally just attempting to push up and retest the supply zone here, but generally we are definitely headed to 1773, 72 level. Okay, so that's really my take. That's what I'm seeing might happen this week. Although, like you can see on the daily, on Friday we closed bullish, and that's why the weekly there was a bit of a rejection on the weekly, but you can see on Friday we closed bullish. So let me just look at the lower time frame. Look at the 4 hour. So you can see what happened with NFP. We did drop and then we began to push up again. Okay, so Thursday, Friday, we dropped significantly, and then we began, during the New York session, we began to push up. So we ended up closing bullish, but generally like I said, on the weekly we are bearish. And guys, I still think we have room to go. There's a lot of liquidity downside here, and so that's what I'm thinking on gold. I'm anticipating that drop, but there's also, I think, yeah, I'm anticipating the drop. There's also the possibility that we may push up, but unlikely for me. I want to see, whatever happens, I'd like to see price push lower. So that's gold, guys. And then let me look at US 30. US 30 is, interesting. Like, let me look at the weekly. So US 30 on last week hit its all-time high, took out previous levels of liquidity, buy-side liquidity, or rather, yeah, buy-side liquidity, and closed bearish. Now we may continue to retest to the like about 174 points. We may, this was a really major rejection, so I'm seeing like chances are we are likely to push lower, possibly try and test this demand zone here. This is about what, 1,000 points. That's quite something. But on the near term, okay, I'm looking at US 30 dropping, let's say, about 100 to 250 pips before we see any retracement, and maybe a continuation to the upside. So US30 is bullish, okay? It's pretty bullish. So this could just be a retest as we continue. On the daily, on the weekly, it was still looking bullish, despite the fact that we did have this rejection here. And we may just be retesting this demand zone before we continue up. Because generally, if you look at US30, we've really just been scaling higher highs, and higher lows and higher lows. So that's on the US30. Let me look at AUD USD currency pair. AUD USD also looking bullish. Although we kind of retested, we pulled back and retested a previous demand zone. We have been scaling lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So generally, kind of looking, bullish, really, really long term. But last week, we were definitely bearish. Okay. But we closed the daily, on Friday, we kind of closed bullish. But I still think that there's a potential for us to continue downwards. Okay. There's potential for that to happen. Although, honestly, I feel like we may push up. We may push up, guys. We may push up to take out this liquidity upside before we drop. Yeah. But let me look at AUD JPY. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I was typing AUD JPY. Sorry, guys, about that small break. So AUD JPY, we took out this previous high here. And if I look on the daily now, we're actually looking like we may continue to drop. So I'm anticipating that we will definitely maybe try and retest the 18.113 zone, which is about 180 pips away. But we are still in buy territory. We've been consolidating for a while, but still looking bullish. But I feel like there's a potential to retest before we continue to the upside. That's AUD JPY. Same drill with AUD USD. We have been bearish, but like I said, guys, I feel like there's potential to push up before we take out liquidity to the downside. Okay, so there's potential to do that. Now, let me look at GBP USD. GBP USD closed bullish on the daily. On the weekly, we were definitely bullish, and we are still looking very, very bullish. And we may be trying to take out previous highs for 250 pips, possibly the next target. But yeah, looking very bullish. We dropped here and we took out liquidity here, some sell side liquidity. And now, if you look at the weekly time frames, for the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've been very bullish on GU. We closed bullish again, and I feel like we may just continue. Okay, we've taken out previous levels here. We are approaching a supply zone though, so there's a potential to retest that supply zone and reject. Okay, but even if we do, I still feel that'll be a minor retrace before we continue to the upside. Let me look at GBP JPY. Similarly, GJ has been bullish on the daily, and I'm assuming on the weekly as well. We got to a nice zone up here, possibly a supply zone on a lower time frame, and we are kind of like on a retest. I don't know why I still feel like Okay, there's potential for a retracement, but I still feel like we are bullish on DJ as well. So let me look at Euro USD. Looking bullish as well. Yeah, Euro USD is looking very bullish, and possibly we may try to test the 1.15680 on the daily time frame, which is about 200 pips away, 213 pips away. So, I mean, we've been bearish, okay, but we got to a demand zone and we began to push up again. So it's like we're retesting previous breaks of structure. So near term, we may see 156 pips move up and then to 200 pips. Yeah, so bullish on Euro USD. So let me look at USD JPY. USD JPY, on the other hand, we broke structure here on the daily, and we're looking like we're retesting that zone before we continue to the upside. Okay, we've been bullish. We've been bullish. We've been bullish on USD JPY. Let me look at the 4-hour. And you know, with the rejection on the higher time frame, it just looks like we are now retesting, you know, after this strong push up, we're possibly trying to target demand zone levels below. So I'd really like to see what happens. This could just be a retest all the way down here, and then we continue to the upside. But we've been looking very, very bullish. We're still looking bullish, even on the 4-hour chart. Sorry, did I say bullish? Yeah. Okay. What I mean is, guys, that we look bullish on the higher time frame and long term, but there's also the potential. Like you look at the 5 minutes, this is a really strong break to the downside. And like I said, we are simply possibly trying to get to the zone before where we broke structure to the upside. So yeah, let me look at it again on the day. I don't trade USD JPY much, to be honest. But yes, if we look at it this way, USD JPY has really been on a massive rally to the top, okay? And we've just been taking out previous highs, okay? Previous highs. And I feel like we still got room to push up. We have the 125.813 zone, which is about 1,000 pips away. So I'm thinking that we will see a retracement, maybe to the about 300 pips below, or possibly 300 pips retracement before we see the continuation to the upside. Just looking at the lower time frame and how we see a very bearish start in the lower time frame, but long term we are bullish on USD JPY. Okay, but I think we've rallied up quite some, and there's need to just come and, you know, clear out some imbalances below before we continue to the upside. So guys, let me look at one more. Let me look at another euro pair rather. This is Euro JPY. So Euro JPY is approaching a zone. It may come in there and then bounce off to continue to the downside. So we're about 100 pips. It may come 100 pips into this zone, and then push lower. So I believe we will likely open the market bullish on Euro JPY before we drop. That's just how it's looking. So we are still looking for a continuation to the upside on market open. Let me look at Euro CAD and Euro AUD, and then we could wrap things up. So as you can see, Euro CAD has really been stuck in a zone here. We did push up, retested previous breaks of level of structure where there was a break of structure, and then retraced back down. And we are kind of looking bullish. But typically, if you ask me, EuroCAD has just been in a zone, and it's like since we broke to the downside, we've been unable to get out of this zone. So I feel like we're just going to be in this consolidation for a while. Okay, we could be in a redistribution or a reaccumulation zone. We haven't broken below this in a while. So this just looks like this was just possibly a liquidity grab that was happening, below here to just take out these lows here and the sell side liquidity. So I think there's potential to just continue to push to the upside. There's potential to continue to push on the upside only because this is a very strong demand zone. So potential to just continue pushing to the upside. Euro AUD, similarly looking the same, has been in a zone and is now, in my opinion, looking bullish. So I'm expecting a continuation of price upwards. That's about 358 pips. So, like 150 to 200 pips is a possibility on the near term. So bullish on Euro AUD, bullish on Euro CAD, and bullish on Euro USD. So Euro pairs are looking bullish. GBP pairs are also looking bullish, but with some, let me just look at you again. With potential rejections at the supply zone levels above, okay, but relatively looking bullish. So that being said, guys, maybe I can look at Bitcoin, BTC USDT. So as you can see, what's BTC doing? So Bitcoin dropped nicely. And this is a move that I've been anticipating to continue to happen. And we can see it retested this level here and is now just pushing. It took out this low here, this liquidity grab that happened here on the 4th of December last year, and looks like it wants to push up, but I kind of feel like we are still headed downward. So my target, as you guys can see, is here at 32,000 level zone. So whatever happens in between, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. Okay. So guys, I hope this has been of value and helpful. And yes, if this was your first time on my channel and you liked the content on my analysis was helpful to you as a trader, please feel free to just smash the like button, smash the notification bell, subscribe. But as always, guys, have a lovely trading week ahead. Next week looks like the market is really going to open up now that we're going into our second week in January. It's our second week or our third week. Yeah. So I just want to wish you guys all a fantastic trading week and all the best, guys. See you soon.